Hello everyone and welcome back to the Analogue Wonderland YouTube channel. Today I am taken over. Paul is MIA currently dealing with lab things and being a boss. So I'm taking over, but I'm very excited to be here because we have an amazing guest to help with this month's WonderBox Competition judging, and that is Tonicha from Grain Gurls.
Hello.
Hello. So for those of you that don't know what Grain Gurls is, when did it start?
It was around about March, April this year. I don't know specifically, but yeah.
Grain Gurls is an amazing, what do you call it, group or collective or?
Yeah, collective
that is there to inspire female film photographers. It started on Instagram with an amazing logo, which I think grabbed everyone's attention straight away. Will it describe the logo, Tonicha?
It's basically a pair of boobs on a roll of film.
Yeah.
It honestly, like when me and Nikki first started it, we were just kind of like making it not as cheesy as we could, but we were like, yeah, like we'll make it so stereotypical and you know, just kind of fun, and we didn't really expect anything to like kick off with it, so that's why we made it just as fun and daft as we could.
Grab people's attention.
Yeah, and then the day that we started it and we launched it, made the first post, I think we got like 1,000 followers overnight.
Wow.
And it was
incredible.
Yeah, it was insane. We woke up and we were like, oh my god.
So there are definitely female film photographers out there. We just need to bring them all together.
Yeah, and that's basically the aim with the Grain Gurls. Like when we made our website, Nikki put like a map of the world on it, and it's got like pin drops where all of our followers are and the people who've submitted photos, which is a really, really cool idea. Courtesy of her, of course.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these are people who've submitted photos?
Yeah.
So Grain Gurls sort of works as a platform for girls to share their photography work?
Yeah, so basically after we first made the Instagram account, we had a lot of people requesting like merchandise of our logo, so we made some stickers, which we give out some to Analogue Wonderland and Take It Easy Lab and stuff. Yeah. And basically all the money that we made from selling the stickers went straight into building the website. We're not doing it for the profit, we're doing it so like these women have got a platform where they can share their work, where it's going to be noticed. And as much as like a lot, like obviously we are heavily based female following, we do have a lot of male support on there, which is really good to see. And a lot of guys have started following these other female photographers, which is, you know, what we're wanting, because there's so many amazing female photographers out there that you go on their account and their photos are just amazing, like out of this world, and they just don't have the levity. They're just yeah. So to sum it up, Grain Gurls is a platform aiming to boost the exposure of female photographers. Would you say that? Yeah, definitely. And it's more, we don't want it to be sort of like very like, yeah, professional to a degree, but not like totally professional. Like we're there as a community, as a group, as a collective. So yeah, it's a lot less sort of like full on, sort of like, oh yeah, this is what we are, and like we're still a part of that, but it's a lot more relaxed and a lot more just nice.
And you're only at the beginning. Like you started recently, but the progress you've made is amazing. You guys were at the photography show recently.
Yeah.
Did you both do the talk? Because if I haven't clarified, Tonicha and Nikki are a duo behind Grain Gurls. Nikki is busy studying today.
Yeah, she's got an exam that she needs to study for, so she was like, I'm really sorry I can't be there, and I was like, it's fine. But yeah, we both went to the photography show and did the talk. That was very nerve-wracking, and I was panicking at first because I was like, oh my god, I don't think like many people will turn up and it's just going to look stupid. But we did get quite a few people turn up, and quite a good crowd as well. And as much as there was women there was a lot of men there as well, which was nice to see. And we had a few, like I had this guy approach me at the end of the talk, and he was like, thank you for doing what you're doing, like keeping film alive, but also like, you know, bringing the female front to it. And yeah, it was really good. We got a lot of good reception, got to have a good chat with Paul, and got to have a good chat with Cameras by Max as well, and then got chatting with Shelby, who is she's the marketing person for Ilford. She's going to write a blog post for our website, and then we also got
great networking event, like meeting so many people.
Yeah, it really was, and it was good to chat with the likes of Shelby as well, because she was saying how because she runs the Ilford Instagram page, that she does actively try and share a lot more women than men, but obviously it is quite sort of male centric on Instagram. And she was like, it's great to see that there's someone who I can work with to get, you know, these women photographers out of the cracks into the spotlight.
I feel like it can no longer be a cop-out of companies saying they can't find female film photographers, because there are you guys. There's lots of hashtags like Women on Film Wednesdays, I think is one.
Yeah.
We started the female photographers to follow list. Like, plenty of people out there, so they can do their bit and share us too.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's next for Grain Gurls? Obviously, you're not even like a year old yet, and you've got, how many followers do you have now?
I think actually I'm gonna have to double check, because it changes every time I look. So let's have a look. So we have just over 2,663 followers.
Amazing.
Insane, yeah. And we just keep growing by the day. We have been a bit quiet on there at the minute, because we've got a lot of things going on behind the sidelines, and it's all been a bit boo-hoo. But we've got a lot of things going on behind the scenes, so we're actively sort of refreshing the website all the time. We are going to get some more merchandise on there, so we can start to fund other things. So
I hope that's coming soon.
Yeah, that was going to be the next step. And then so we've got we're going to be featured on a couple of podcasts coming up as well. So we've got the Sunny 16 podcast.
Amazing.
And we're going to be doing that with Lucy, who did the open letter to Kodak, so that would be really cool. And Shelby as well.
She came on one of the She Huts film photo walks. She's amazing.
Yeah. So we'll get a chat with her, and we'll get a chat with Shelby as well. We've got we're going to be doing a article for the Amateur Photography magazine, which reminds me I need to email them back. And then we've got we're eventually going to be doing a podcast with Front Photography as well.
Amazing, those guys.
Yeah. So we've got quite a few things coming up
in the pipeline.
Yeah, it's just kind of fitting it all in around hectic schedules. But the Sunny 16 podcast, I think we're doing, if I remember correctly, at the end of this month. So that'll be the next thing to look for.
Oh, it is hard, like with She Huts film, because it's obviously what you're super passionate about, but to find the time for it can be difficult. But I think it's so reassuring to know that there's the interest and momentum there. Like, even if you were to disappear for a bit, like, the female film community is growing, and we'll be there, like, ready and excited for
100%
again.
Yeah, and obviously people understand that we've we've got lives. If we like, honestly, if I could quit my job tomorrow and do this full time, I absolutely would. But we're a slave to the capitalist corporation. We need the money to survive, unfortunately. But it's still fun to do just on the side, because it's something to look forward to, and it's something that's always got something going on, and it's exciting. And even though it is hectic trying to fit in all these things and whatnot, like you said, the community is always going to be there. And we get tagged in posts like every single day and stuff like that, and we are there actively, like liking them just behind the lines. But we still get submissions and stuff that we pop on the website and whatnot. It's just all a bit crazy, and because it's all happened so fast as well, it's like,
bit of a whirlwind. Yeah, you guys should be so proud of yourself. Like, it's incredible what you've done, but we need some more merch soon.
Don't worry, we'll get on it as soon as you've got a spare 3 minutes.
And I think the nice thing about projects like yours and anything in the female film community is that it's also positive. Like, I think recently, especially this year, the news for women has been like really upsetting, and there's been some awful events. And with She Hearts Film, like, I don't think it's going to change the course of history, or like make everyone a feminist or anything like that, but it's giving girls something fun and positive to do and enjoy, and make friends with other girls, and empower each other, lift each other up, all that sort of thing. And I think that's what it's all about, really.
Yeah, and it's about creating a safe community for girls as well. So because it can be quite intimidating being a female photographer sometimes, and especially when if you're like me and you like to just go to random places and take photos and whatnot, it can be it does put you on edge a little bit, especially like with all of the stuff that's been going on in the news and whatnot. And obviously if you're carrying around like an expensive camera and you see a small women, but creating these communities, so it's bringing people together and finding people from all over the country, all over the globe. It's creating a safe space, because these women can now go out in groups and have a fun time, but also feel safe because they're in that group. And it shouldn't have to be like that, but unfortunately nothing is going to change in the world anytime soon. So it's the best that we can do.
We've got another this is a bit of an exclusive, but we've got a She Hearts Film photo walk coming out soon, and I want to do it in the evening, partly because I know a lot of women wouldn't feel safe going on a photo walk alone at night. So we're going to meet a bit later on, go around London. Cine Still have agreed to sponsor us, which is amazing.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
So we're going to have some 800p to go around London, and hopefully get lots of neon lights and all sorts of cool things. And I'm hoping it'll be a really fun experience for everyone, but without it becoming too political. Like, I do want it to draw attention to the fact that a male photographer being able to go out on his own at any time of night and take photos, like, that's such a privilege that we really don't have, and a lot of women don't feel safe as soon as it gets dark, which is now like 4:30, 5. It's not late. So I do want to draw attention to that. But like you said, like, the majority of men I've spoken to online have been so supportive of these kind of movements, She Hearts Film and Grain Gurls, and like, that's what we need. And I'm so grateful to those people. Like, we can all learn from each other, and if you have more experience that you want to share, like, share it, but just do it in a nice, non-patronizing way.
I mean, exactly, because we're not like the whole point of promoting female photographers is not to also shun the male like the male photography popularity, but at the same time it is an issue, unfortunately, and it's like with anything, men, it is a male dominated society, and to see all of these men to turn around and be like, you know what, yeah, this is something I can support, this is something I can get behind, and sort of change their attitude towards it. It's amazing to see. And I feel like it's happening not just with photography, but with a few things as well, which is fantastic to see. And you know, we can only hope by keeping these collectives going that it will eventually, you know, years in the future, it will start to make a massive impact.
And spread to other aspects of life. Like obviously film photography is quite a niche hobby that we all love and enjoy, but if we can give that mentality of, you know, equality and making space for women in other fields, hopefully people can take that attitude, and that these changes start small but, you know, could spread.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, that's the main end goal. We're not there quite yet, but baby steps.
It's positive changes, and it's, you know, exciting to see, and
it's also really
something, exactly, when something sad in the news is happening and I see things like She Hearts Film and Grain Gurls and women out there like doing amazing things, it just like takes the edge off. Like it makes me feel a bit more positive about things.
Yeah, definitely because the news has been pretty grim, especially around London as well. Like I can't imagine how it must feel sort of living around there with the things that have unfortunately happened. And you know, you can see some small victories in like the justice that is being served for those things, but you know, it's still a thing that's very prevalent in the back of your mind, especially you know, living on the doorstep of it. But the fact that, you know, we have the She Hearts Film, the Grain Gurls, and the women film community as a whole, and you know, all the women photographers out there, it does kind of remind you that even though that one very horrific thing has happened, you know, we've still got all these amazing people out there that are actively trying to change that.
Exactly. It becomes a support network in lots of ways, because it was actually quite sad. Like, I don't want to talk too much about it, but that was the week of International Women's Day, and it was the week we launched She Hearts Film. So I just felt like, oh my god, like just couldn't comprehend it. I was so excited about the momentum of She Hearts Film, and at the same time I was like distraught about what had happened. And obviously it is tragic, but things like this are positive, and we can become a community to talk about these issues as well if people want that.
Definitely.
And help them.
And like you said as well, we're there to support people as well, and you know, just be there for people, whether it's creating these photo walks or bringing people together so they don't have to, you know, walk around taking photos on their own, or even just, you know, not even taking photos, creating friends that you can hang out with and do things other than photography, and just bringing people together, and also educating people on, because there's quite a few, well, I mean, not so much, but there is a few sort of women that I've met in my time that are just, they know about these things and the issues and the societal issues, but not to the extent of which they are. And so when they see how bad it is, they're like, oh right.
Like the penny drop sort of thing. Well, you're based up in the Lake District. So do you think you'd ever like run photo walks up there? Because that's something I've always felt. Well, I've only done one She Hearts Film photo walk, but everything can become quite London centric, and obviously there's film photographers all over the place, but I don't know that area as well as London, but it would be really cool to get some like female photo walks going on in like other parts of the country, because we had people traveling down from like Leeds and quite far to come, which was like so flattering. But I'd love to be able to do walks in other locations.
Well, me and Nikki have actually we've actually spoke about doing a photo walk. Obviously with the whole coronavirus and things like that, we've just been kind of putting it off till like we definitely know that we could do it, and we're thinking that at some point next year, probably in the springtime, I think, because summer will be mental for me working in the Lake District.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to do that. So we haven't decided where we're gonna do it, but as much as I would love to do a photo walk in the Lake District for Grain Gurls, it is a bit out the way to get to.
Yeah.
So we are going to do it sort of. We were thinking like maybe it's like Leeds, Manchester area.
Good point.
So it's a bit more central. So if people do want to travel, it's like easily accessible. But I have. So I run another page called Lakes on Film, which is just basically. So it's just finding film photographers from around the Lake District, and I run it with. So there was two other people, Liam and Sarah. Liam's kind of like took a bit of a backpedal because he's got other stuff going on, so it's me and Sarah. So I think we're going to try and sort of arrange like a little meet up and get a few people together, because there's quite a lot of women photographers around here as well. So
that's amazing. We're all over the place and you don't even realise it.
Yeah.
On the walk we did in London, like there are a few girls that were like, oh, there's no female film photographers in my area, and then got chatting and realised they live really close to some of the other girls on the walk and have since like become friends and done their own things together. So stories like that are just so nice.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, you know, you don't have to live in the same town as someone, even though that would be, you know, 100% easier. But even just people from your surrounding area, like it's, and it, as well, if you've got someone who does live quite close by, who maybe you've been there before, or you haven't been there before, like they can show you loads of cool things from their area as well, which is always a bonus.
Yeah, it's nice to challenge yourself to go to new places because you'll photograph things you maybe wouldn't typically do. So I see it as like expanding your photography and pushing your creative boundaries. So that would be
and it's,
if you did a walk up there.
Yeah, and it's definitely pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, because it's one thing obviously walking around like London and doing the whole street photography, to hiking several miles up a hill and taking photos from there, which I've recently not recently, but a couple of months ago bought a medium format camera, and I really want to take it out with me, but the thought of just lugging
it around,
but to be fair, it's not that heavy, and I'm probably just being over dramatic, so
It is something you have to think about though. Like the first walk I went on, I brought like all my favorite cameras, and my back was just like dead by the end, and you only end up using one really. You just use your favorite, and I mean with me, I'm just chatting too much, so I probably only take like 4 or 5 photos. So if you just pick one and go on a hike with it, like I'm sure it'll be fine.
Normally it's my little Olympus Miju, because it fits in the pocket and it's easy to grab out. But the weather here has been a bit crazy at the minute, so I've been staying off the hills. It's been flooding everywhere. So
so for your own photography, we should probably talk a bit about that. The feminist rant, everyone. I hope you do. So do you do a lot of like landscape stuff, being where you are?
Definitely. I've been living here for it'll be coming up 2 years in July next year. So I definitely have been doing a lot more landscape than obviously I would normally typically do. And then just kind of like when I have been traveling either home back to the northeast or anywhere else, been doing sort of like street photography, bit of portraits and whatnot. But yeah, my work at the minute has definitely become more landscape sort of based, which I enjoy because there's so many different stunning scenes around the Lake District that it's hard not to take photos of. Apart from in lockdown when it was kind of like it got a bit repetitive, so I didn't really I stopped shooting for a while because I was like, every tree's starting to look the same. But it's you get such variance of weather here as well, and with living in a valley as well, it does create some interesting sort of like skies and things, and you've got like, we get a lot of fog as well, which is really cool to photograph. But yeah, I've definitely started to get into portraits a lot more now as well, just to break up a little bit. And then I've just recently come back off holiday from Morocco, which I have several rolls of film to develop, which I should probably send off at some point.
So how long have you been shooting film for?
I've been shooting film for about 4 or 5 years, I think it is. But I've been doing photography for as long as I can remember, like probably about 16, and I turned 26 soon, so about 10 years, which is insane. I'm so old.
No, don't say that. But
no,
lots of experience then. That's really cool.
Yeah, obviously just started off at digital, and studied it, and then I think my first different format camera that I bought was a really old Polaroid camera, which was insane and just so fun to use. And then they obviously stopped producing the film for it, and it got really expensive. So that's currently collecting dust somewhere in my parents' attic. And then I used to mess around with my friends, the Diana cameras, the little 121s. Yeah, I used to mess around with that a lot. And then just sort of one day was just like, let's get into film photography, and it's just escalated from there, really.
Healthy addiction.
Yeah, my bank account doesn't like me for it though.
At work or at Analogue Wonderland, you can go on your customer account and see how much you spent here. And me and Chris here did it one day, and I just felt a bit sick how much I've spent on film photography. But it makes you happy. You can't.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about how much I've spent on it. It's no, I'm not even going to think about it.
I just want you to show your nails to the camera, because they are amazing.
They glow under UV light as well, which makes it even better.
That is so cool. Sorry, I just had to get that close up in.
No, it's absolutely fine. I bet everyone's like, oh my god, your nails, and I'm like, oh, I keep forgetting about them.
So we should probably get into the judging.
Yes, definitely.
We did speak briefly about how there seems to be a lot more male subscribers to our WonderBox, and I'm not really sure what the reason for that is, but hopefully this video has given some girls some inspiration to maybe subscribe. The WonderBox is a great way to try different films, experiment, learn more about film photography. Obviously the competition is a really nice way to get involved in the film community as well, and we've got the YouTube channel with lots of reviews, so it's a really great thing to be part of, and hopefully there'll be some more girls joining us soon.
It's very good value as well. Personally, I think, because film is so expensive these days, and about to get more expensive with the Kodak price rise. We love that. If I could give one piece of advice, because obviously you get such a variance of film in the WonderBox. If there is ever a film that you are wanting to try out, so say for instance you've never tried Sin Still before, and you think, I don't really want to pay that price, you never know, you might get it one time in the box, or if you see a film where you're like, that looks a bit interesting, but I don't really want to buy it outright just in case, so it is good way for that, and it's just a lot of fun as well.
Definitely. Even on the other hand, some people get films that are a bit too wacky or experimental for them, but you'll always find another film photographer who might really love to experiment with that, and film swaps are a great thing to do.
Yeah.
During the WonderBox, you get access to our Facebook group as well, so you can chat to people on there, see if they want to do any swaps with you and that sort of thing. So subscribe.
Do it.
So let's start with the judging.
Yes.
We'll go first for the lucky dip winner, which was Richard Alonso. Yay!
Yay!
Well done, Richard. Oh, I should mention the prizes for this month. We're still in Halloween mode, so we're going to be giving out some spooky films, some of the FPP monster films, and some Halloween themed goodies while we're still in the spirit of things. And you've got your cool funky nails, so
yeah, it's Halloween every day for me.
So let's get his photo up. Tonicha, do you have any thoughts on this lucky dip winner? What do you think?
Let me just bring it up. Yeah, I really like this. I love the colour vibrancy of it. And just the framing is very good. You've got like the gradient, and yeah, I have a thing for like obscure photos where you can tell what it is, but it's like, oh, what else is going on in there?
The longer you look at it, the more it's sort of a bit of an illusion almost.
Yeah, and that how you can just kind of make out sort of like the background detail, and it poses like the good questions of like, you know, what was going on here, you know, and what's going on behind the scenes, which I have a little soft spot for them kind of photos.
So this photo was taken on Silvera Color 50. So he says it's another vintage color film from Silvera that really makes the reds and greens pop on a sunny day. I think you can definitely see that in that photo.
Yeah, the red and the yellow is very, very striking.
And Richard was sat outside a coffee shop pondering how best to catch these streamers strung across a busy shopping arcade. Adding colour to an otherwise grey day, I turn around to look behind me and snap this shot. Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, that is really nice.
I think especially in the UK it can be, we're heading towards like the grey, gloomy season.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have a colourful photo to share.
Yeah, definitely. Because the grey days are coming, and it's been non-stop raining here for like the past week.
Okay, so well done, Richard. We will send you your lucky dip prizes soon. Thank you for entering the competition. Next one, we're going to go into the special mentions, starting with Alex Gunn, and this photo is called Harbourside Wall.
Right, there, got it up.
We've got it. Alex Gunn, Harbourside Wall, and this was taken on Silvera Pan 160. And Alex says the film has a great resolution for capturing detailed scenes.
Yeah, it really does bring out the detailing on the wall, like especially with the little detailing on the bricks, and
you can really see all the texture.
Yeah, and then I think I spy like a bit of graffiti at the top as well, and just the different texture of like the dirty compared to
that clean sky.
Yeah.
Let's see what he says. I like how the shadows fall away softly on the underside of the ramps that you can see. It contrasts nicely against the harsh exterior of the car park.
Yeah, it does. It really gives the photo like quite a 3D feel, and definitely contrasts with just how white and bleak the sky is as well. Like it really makes it pop.
Yeah, it's a lovely one. Thank you for entering. Well done, Alex.
Woo!
So our next one, and guess what, guys? This winner is a girl!
Yay!
Sorry, I shouldn't say winner. It's a special mention. This is for Susie Jones. And this picture is called Lost and Found Scarf.
Yeah, I really, really like this one.
Sorry, it's just loading. Ooh, yeah. So, any guesses what film this was on, Tonicha? It's quite an unusual film.
I want to say it's kind of, I think it might, is it a Revlog film?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the textured ones, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Revlog Streak. So it's quite nice and subtle in this photo actually, because it's quite a dark image.
Yeah.
If you sort of zoom in, you can see all the scratch textures across it.
Yeah, I really it kind of gives it like sort of like it really adds with the film because it's a lost and found scarf, and it almost gives the texture of it with the streaks, gives it the appeal of like the film was also lost and found.
Yeah, it really goes with the image.
Yeah.
What does Susie say? Susie says the level of patterning on the film vary throughout, but at times the strong lines can draw away from lines within the shot itself, which can lessen the integrity of the image. I believe this film lends itself well to darker, moodier shots. So yeah, that's interesting. That's what we said with the darker photo. It's a bit more subtle and
yeah,
quite a nice effect with that image.
And yeah, I can see what she means about because obviously with the obviously you've got the straight line of the tree and then sort of the dip line of the scarf, which on obviously something like Kodak color that would be the center focus of the film, but the texture of the film itself actually does take away from that, and it does make it a bit more blendy.
Blendy.
Yeah.
Excellent word. So Susie also said the textures of the scarf are varied and interesting. The scarf was shot as found, and the natural twists and turns of the way it has been hung form a graceful, natural curve, and the bright colour stripes are a contrast to the soft foliage and bark it's stranded within. Ooh.
Yeah.
Very artsy.
Yeah, I like.
So well done to Susie. Another special mention. Next one we have Rohan, and this picture is called Generations.
This is a nice photo.
Wow. Oh, that's really lovely.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just like I like how it's being captured in the moment, and it's just very. I mean, I love how it's shot in black and white as well, because I always think that these type of candid photos just work so well on black and white, because it just makes it so much more personal and intimate, rather than you just getting bombarded with all these different colours.
Yeah, I love it. They all look so sort of at peace and happy just in this family environment.
Yeah.
It looks just a completely just lovely family day. Braiding the hair, 3 strong women.
Yeah.
I love the composition as well, with the 2 women on the right, and it must be like the grandma on the left.
Yeah, I like how the light works as well. So it's kind of like the grandma is very well lit. The light on her face is very harsh, whereas going towards I'm going to say mum and daughter, very obviously you've got that harsh light highlighting them onto the soft features of their face, and almost it's almost like you can't see like the rest of them with them shadows, which I absolutely love. I love black and white films. The shadows are great.
And what are your thoughts on sprocket holes?
I think for this one it works really well. It kind of it gives it that more sort of personal family feel, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it works well for this. But to be fair, I don't have really an opinion on sprocket holes. It either works or it doesn't. But I've
never really done sprocket holes.
No, I don't think I have either. I might give it a go and let you know.
So that photo was shot on FOMA 400, and Rohan encourages you to embrace the light with that film, which I think is a good tip, because the light works really well in that photo.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Well done to Rohan.
Well done. Woohoo!
So next one we have Tanya, and this photograph is called Let's Eat, which sounds wonderful. What did you like about this photo?
Again, just the contrasting in black and white, and how it's very caught up in the moment. Like, you just sat there waiting for food. I think they're cooking burgers or something like that, and it's just like almost like inspiration strike, click. This is a memory I want to remember.
Yeah.
And the composition of the photo is really nice. How the cooker and the person's really in focus, and the background is very, very out of focus. Just again bringing you more into the moment.
I really like the highlights in the image that you can see on the table legs, on the cutlery on the side, and on the wedding ring, which is like a really nice detail to bring out.
Yeah.
Also like that it's looks like it was shot when the person was sitting down.
Yeah.
So just looks completely in the moment, and just whipped out the camera, like you say, quite a candid photograph that they just wanted to capture. Ooh, another lady in the WonderBox competition.
Yay!
Woohoo! Well done, Tanya. And that was also on FOMA Pan 400. So Tanya says it renders shadows well. And this was her first black and white film. So she said she didn't have much experience. So that's amazing considering.
Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah, well done.
Next special mention is Chris Lockyer, and the photo is called #Belgrade. Ooh.
Yeah, I really like the shadows on this one.
Yeah, it's so contrasty and crisp.
Yeah, and just with the first half of the sign being that stripe and white, compared to the second half, which is like obviously the duller grey tones, then contrasted with the very black shadow to then the very almost whitewashed street. It just really, it's almost like it's like jumping out at you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know what it says because I don't speak the language, but it's almost very, just like very in your face, like almost like shouting at you.
Yeah, that's a really bold text.
Yeah.
Love how obviously it's a hashtag, and then on the right there's a woman walking past on her phone.
Oh yeah.
Quite a fun like play on the subject matter.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So this one was shot on ADOX HR50, which is this is what Chris says, a great high resolution film, ideal for photo walks on sunny days. So that's a good film to know. We like our photo walks. We'll be doing more soon.
Yeah, maybe he's got to wait a little bit more for the sun, but
but you can definitely see the like high resolution in that image.
Oh yeah, even like the background with the housing, they're very so much in detail with contrast. And
yeah, Chris says the contrast is what he loves about the image, and that the film handled that extremely well.
Yeah,
you can really see that.
Yeah, even zooming in, it still retains like that crispness.
Yeah, completely. Next one, another special mention, is Bradley Clark, and this image is called Enhanced Sunset. Oh, well done to Chris, by the way.
Yeah, well done.
Well done, Chris. So why did you choose this image?
If I remember correctly, this one was shot on a red scale film.
Yeah, that's on Lomography red scale.
Yeah, and it's a film that I've actually been eyeing up that I want to try. And I'm a sucker for sunsets and anything to do with pretty skies. And this just really really caught my attention, just with obviously it's very bold, because you would think that with a red scale film you would be quite careful with what you shoot, but this guy was just like, you know what, sunset, we're going to absolutely bring out those oranges and reds. And just with the striking red and then obviously the fade into black, it's almost like a vinaigrette is just being perfectly applied to it. And then obviously you've got like the 3 traffic cones in the front that just like kind of stand out just enough that you can see them, almost giving like a ghostly effect with the cars and stuff in the background. And it's just really, really nice. And with it, everything being quite central to the photo as well, it's just a very lovely it's just a very lovely photo.
Yeah, I really like it. I love how the bright detail of the sun is in the center and then it sort of fades out from there. But the more you look, the more little details you see. I like the sort of reflections on the road. Maybe it was raining or something, but you can see.
Yeah, it's just like the little highlights of things dotted about. And I especially like just the two street lamps as well. I think they really break up the
image,
the harshness quite well.
Bradley suggests to rate this film at 50 and shoot when overcast to increase the effect, and that it seems a great film for Halloween. So hopefully some of you have shot some red scale over the weekend.
Yeah,
it is the perfect film for that.
Yeah, I want to see all your spooky photos.
What does he say? It's enhanced a quick shot. So like you said, it was quite a spontaneous photo, but the red scale has really enhanced the image. I think the orange and red tones really work with the sunset. Says he still has a few rolls, has brought a pack before my latest WonderBox arrived. So he plans to take some out for some sunrises or sunsets with his F3. And this was shot on a XA3 that he had in his pocket.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah, I think it's such a good thing to do. Just keep a point and shoot in your pocket for moments like this when you just do something. Cause
especially something like the Olympus XAs. Like I had an XA2 and I absolutely loved it. It just tiny little, fit in your pocket, just hit out, bang. Amazing.
You always regret it when you're walking past something. You're like, oh, that would make a great photo.
Yeah,
obviously you have your phone, but you also take a photo on their phone.
But yeah, well done, Bradley.
Well done. Woo. So the next one, we have Heather Kidd, and I believe Heather was our lucky dip winner for the last competition, but she's been picked out as a special mention this time, and the photo is called Urban Jungle. So what do you think of this one, Tonicha?
I really like the contrasting greens on this photo, especially paired with the almost grey sky. It really makes the greens pop, especially the trees in the background. Almost gives it that 3D effect. And then obviously the little dog.
I just noticed the little dog. I didn't see that before.
Yeah.
Fun detail.
And it's quite fun with the play on of urban jungle as well, because it's like you've obviously got the urban train lines and the fence and the pylons in the background, and then obviously the overgrown trees, and then the dog, which it's kind of like playing on sort of like the animals in the jungle and stuff. It just works really well, and I just it's the greens for me.
So this was also taken on Silbera Colour 50, and Heather says, this film is amazing. Despite being an ISO 50 film, it is so forgiving and always brightens up an image no matter what. The colours in the film are very striking and this film makes them pop. Completely see that in that photo. Those colours are really vibrant and stunning.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I might have to buy some.
Yeah. Does Heather say she loves the intense colour of the grass and the sky and how this film has brightened up what would have been quite a dull image. Yeah, the green is like bam. Yeah,
which is quite interesting for an ISO 50. It's you wouldn't think.
Yeah, you wouldn't think you get that sort of colour payoff, but
no,
it
is very striking.
So on to our last special mention.
Well done, Heather.
Woohoo. Ooh, sorry. Well done, everybody.
Yes.
This is by Nikki. Sorry if I've said that wrong. I'm not too sure. Oh, Nike Osler.
Yeah, we'll go with Nike. We're very sorry if we're pronouncing your name wrong.
Very sorry. Me and names do not go well. I love this image, but why don't you tell us about it?
This image really stood out to me, just with how soft it is, but with the colours are quite intense, but not too intense. So you've got obviously the very pale gradient of blue in the background, paired with that very, very warm skin tone and warm hair from the female in the photo. And just, it's very soft, it's very gentle, and it's just like a very like serenic photo. I don't know if that's the correct word to say, but just the composition as well, with the main focus, nothing else in the background apart from the sky, and just the very warm tones as well, and just the very soft the soft clouds in the background compared to the harsh light that's bouncing off her shoulder and the back of her head.
She's just so beautiful.
I love her hair as well.
And I think the sort of soft focus of the image with her soft clouds and then the soft clouds in the background, like it all just works like really beautifully together. So this photo is called Sun Curls, and it was taken on Kodak Gold 200. You can definitely see that sort of gold tones to it, the lovely warm tones. And Nike says this film is meant to be used during the day when it's bright and you want to add a touch of gold to your image. Quite a good tip. I think gold, for me, I definitely think of lovely like summery images.
Definitely like warm images, sort of almost golden hour type-esque, or just, you know, like summer, spring kind of vibes.
And he says loves the golden hair and the air and the expression of the subject. So I completely agree with that.
Definitely.
She looks very just like basking in the sun, very at peace, and just
very chill, very just
makes me want to go on holiday.
It makes me want to go back on holiday.
One day we'll be traveling the world again. So that is all the special mentions. Well done to Nike and the rest of the special people.
Well done, everyone.
Well done. So for now we have the grand winner. Here, let's do a drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
So this was by Amandine. Hope you said that right.
I'm again a sucker for black and white photos. I absolutely love black and white. And just the soft, out of focus nature of it, where you can tell what the subject of the photo is, but obviously it's given that impression of sort of ambiguity, with the striking light from the windows highlighting the banister and the steps, and then the steps going up, and also creating that big black shadow on the inside of the staircase and on the left hand side of the other staircase. Just really complements the photo well. And it works well with the sort of like soft out of focus. I
love the soft focus. For me, hopefully this isn't an offensive point to say, but it makes me think of like stumbling home drunk, because you're like trying to get up the stairs, your vision's a bit hazy, maybe you've like had a good night out. What it sort of reminds me of, but
that, and it kind of reminds me of when you're sort of in a hurry, or you're going somewhere, or you see something, you're like, I've got to quickly take a photo of this, and you take it, and it doesn't come out quite perfect, but it just captures the moment very well.
I think it's a really beautiful one, and I love the highlights on the banisters as well.
That's it's so striking and beautiful. Really brings out the detail of it as well, even though it's not fully in focus.
So this was taken on Street Candy, which I
love Street Candy.
I think it must have been the MTN 100 that was in the WonderBox. The slower film.
I've got a roll of that actually that I still need to shoot.
It is brilliant, and just such a cool film. The packaging obviously is
very eco-friendly, fully recyclable.
So Amandine warns you that if you're home developing, be careful because the film is very thin. So good thing to watch out for.
Yeah.
There isn't actually any other comments on the image, but we really love it. So congratulations.
Well done, Amandine.
Well done. So that is the end of the judging for this month's WonderBox competition. Sorry it's a bit late, everyone. It's been full lab madness at Analogue Wonderland. But thanks for your patience and for sticking with us. I hope I've been a good replacement for Paul today. I hope he thinks that too. We'll see when I show him the video.
Well, personally, I think that you've done great.
Thank you very much. And it's been so nice chatting to you and about Grain Gurls. Like, I hope that everyone who's watched this has taken something from it on how they can get involved in the film community or help female photographers out and just open your eyes to the wonderful female film photographers. So
it's been really nice chatting about it. Obviously I would have loved to have Nikki here chatting with me as well, but you know, life finds a way.
Don't worry, we'll have to have you both back. We've starting a She Hots film series on YouTube, so we'll have to have you for
that would be great,
both of you, and we'll get more into the nitty gritty issues that I'm sure people would love to hear about as well.
That would be great.
Before you go, any upcoming things people should know about? So I'll put your handles. Your website is constantly evolving, so keep an eye on that.
Just keep an eye out on the website. Keep an eye out on the Instagram page. We're doing the Sunny 16 podcast at the end of the month, so that'll be up and coming. And next thing that I think we'll probably have on the cards will be some more merch as well, so we can fund a few more things. We'll probably get some more stickers on the go, some t-shirts, maybe some patches. We've got quite a few ideas in the works.
I want to be Grain Gurls from
head to toe.
Oh, that's really exciting.
As well. So the video that we made and showed at the photography show, we will also be putting up on our website for anyone who wanted to see it but couldn't attend.
I'm so sad I missed that, so I'll definitely watch that. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for everything you're doing for the female film community.
And thank you as well.
Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed judging, and hopefully we'll have you both back soon.
Definitely, it would be great. And definitely also as well, just a quick one, so we are going to be starting blogs, and it's not going to be sort of like, oh, you can only write a blog post if you're famous or whatever. If you want to write a blog post about anything, even if it's just to waffle on about your favorite film and show a few photos, then we would love that. And obviously you can put, if you've got a website, Instagram handle, we can put all that in there as well as some of your photos. So just send over to our email, which is graingirlscollective@gmail.com.
I'll drop all those things in the description so everyone can reach out to you. Super exciting. Thanks so much for being here. It's been lovely to chat to you.
It's been great. I've had a lot of fun, and it was amazing seeing everyone's photos as well.
Very encouraging to see just film photography keeping going, and all the different photos in the competition. It's always inspiring. So thank you everyone who entered, and we look forward to next month's judging.
Yay.
See you soon.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.